great class of UNN Pharmacy 2003. It's a noble class made up of men, of women, of great potentials, great impact across the world. Incidentally, we've been working at different locations, not being able to bring together the impact of our collective strength as a group. As the pioneer class president, my hope is to work with my executives to lay the foundation on a community, in building up a community for ourselves, community focusing on first getting to know each other better, knowing what we are doing, where we are around the world, what is the situation of our members, our classmates, wherever they are around the world. For me, that's the primary objective as the foundation president of the class, to get to know each other, to get to know how we are doing. And as we do that, we'll start looking at what are the potentials, the opportunities that we have to harness those talents, those treasures that we have within this class, the strength of the class. Once we're able to know each other, start harnessing that, we'll start forming strong bonding with those in Nigeria, those outside Nigeria, across different countries, ultimately to see how we can continue to link up with each other. As we heard from some of our colleagues yesterday, one phone call, one text message can open doors, things that people pay for to have access to, maybe a governor or a senator or a leader, as the case may be, in the international development or others. Just one phone call to the appropriate classmate who has the connection, who has the network, who has the relationship with the individuals in different high places, will help us to open those doors, open the doors that will help us as a community. First, starting with our class. Once we've been able to set up our class, been able to know each other, build up our connections, start seeing how we can continue to help each other, we'll now start taking the next step. The next step is, what can we do to better impact our society? Some of our colleagues are already at the individual level, sponsoring students, giving scholarships to students in Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nigeria, supporting different graduation awards. Now trying to bring the collective strength of our might as a group, no longer what individuals or group of persons are doing. Harnessing that so that as a class, we can start reaching out back to our alma mater. As part of this reunion, we are already planning to make some equipment donation back to the university worth about 10 million naira, and also at the same time help two of our classmates that are struggling to help them get onto their feet. These are things that will enable us, start catalyzing the use of our collective resources, the use of our collective energy, and the use of our collective talent as a class, as colleagues that were together in the University of Nigeria between 1998 and 2003 when we left school. So that's really my aspiration, to lay the foundation. Once we lay the foundation and things are very strong, we know each other, we start helping out, design what we can actually do to give back to our alma mater, and start reaching out. Hopefully the next team will take it to the next level, once we're able to set this rolling. Ultimately, to guide us, part of our initial focus will also be to start getting together a working document. Call it a constitution or a bylaw, but something that will enable us to start working as a group. So these are our modus operandi. This is what guides us as a class. Our number is finite. This is the number of human beings that can be in this class. The number cannot decrease, cannot increase, because is this set. But ultimately, we need to have a working document, and that's one of the major things I'll be focusing on. Working with members of my ESCO to get us together, and of course solicit ideas, set up committees and subcommittees that will enable us start getting together a working document. Then thirdly as well, to get feedback from our colleagues, how this reunion has panned out, what worked well, what did not work well, what lessons can we take, so that whenever the class decides to have another reunion sometime in the future, at least we'll take the lessons learned from this particular inaugural reunion to better improve what will be, how the next reunion will be planned, will be executed, and also will be resourced, ultimately to ensure that we can carry along as many of our classmates as possible, and also continue to support our alma mater as much as possible. It will be too early to start talking about fundraising to support political ambition, because we don't even know what the interests are and what kind of resources are we looking at. Ultimately, as we start this foundation of getting to know each other, also getting to understand the various interests, I think one of the major things that we're looking at is mentorship, both at the political level with our classmates who has been a member of the Anambra State House of Assembly for 12 years, to start linking up with each other for mentorship. That way, with that mentorship, that will start generating the required interest from various class members, those that may be interested in political activities, not just in the mainstream politics in the whole Nigerian community, but also in their different spheres of endeavor, be it Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria or the various technical groups, ACPN, all the various technical groups of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, just creating that awareness amongst our class members and getting to see what people are interested in. Once we're able to start getting to that level, then we'll now start looking at what may be required to enable these new mentees achieve their desired goal, be it in politics or other areas. I think that will be the next level, when we've been able to mentor ourselves, solidify the network, because to ask people to raise money for a particular cause, you need to get them to believe in that cause. And we can't get people to believe in a cause except if we know each other very well. So if I'm asking any classmate or anyone to contribute, but everything is not finance. It might be to contribute in putting good words, contributing, putting out good references for someone, or to contribute in making phone calls. If I may know someone who is the gatekeeper on the political space or on the association professional space in your area of practice or in your area of influence or in your area of interest, being able to put out some of those simple words or those positive references will help to start opening doors to get people to realize that there is actually so much that they can do with the talents that they have, with resources that they have, which as a group, once we're able to start galvanizing ourselves, we can support them to also actualize the dream. The things I want to achieve for the grade class, yes, our tenure is 3 years and we have our silver jubilee in 5 years. We need to start preparing us for that 5 years, start building the foundation. What do we want to do? This current reunion, we planned it within a very short period. Even though we planned it within a short period, many of the committee members really worked overdrive to ensure that we have the current success, the resounding success, I must say, from this reunion. But for the next one, we need to plan better, start laying the foundation that will enable us to say, what do we want to do in 5 years? When it's time for our Silver Jubilee celebration. Some of the major things I want to look at is, yes, we are starting now to look at buying some equipment for our alma mater, helping a couple of our classmates, but hopefully during my tenure of office, beyond the initial 2 that we are looking at, to start probably expanding more, to get to know what other classmates are doing and people that are in need, to see how we can help them. One, and secondly, to start structuring a more formal relationship with the overall alumni of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nigeria, to key into what the national alumni is doing, because there's a national alumni in place, to key into that national alumni, what they are doing, to start establishing formal relationship with the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, so that we can better understand what their needs are. Come next 5 years, if we are going to, class decides to come together and get something, let it be something that we've dialogued with the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nigeria, to understand the need over time, so that whatever resources we are generating to help to address their need will align with the vision of the leadership. Ultimately, something I've seen for most of our classmates, looking at the yearbook, because I was the editor of our yearbook when we were graduating. When I went back and read some of those yearbooks, some of the frustrations that we had in school, where, as we are planning this reunion, it's one of the things that our classmates are hammering on. What can we do to help get equipment that will make lab environment very conducive for students? We don't want them to pass through some of the challenges that we passed through when we were in school. So what can we do to ensure that the academic environment, the study environment is conducive for our classmates? A good number of our classmates have done things at the individual level. Even as a class, we've done things for the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, like twice now, even before we started planning for this reunion, setting up a formal group. But now being able to establish that relationship with the faculty and finding out what exactly they need, and then start planning resources towards that. It might take us a couple of years to be able to generate those kind of resources, but at least we are aligned with what they are looking for, and ultimately during that period, either we're able to achieve it or we'll go a long way in making sure that we can provide things that will create an enabling environment for students and for staff members to continue to deliver on the mandate of restoring the dignity of man, which is the cardinal mandate of the University of Nigeria. Yeah, I was very active in student union politics while we were in school. As you would have heard, what people call me in my class the speaker, because I was the speaker of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. I was actually the second speaker of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences House of Representatives. There I helped to draft the Constitution and review the Constitution. I did so many things as the student union activist. I was in the overall SUG, Students Union parliamentary body. I led the Students Union committee on socials activities and all that. So that's where that drive came from, right from when we were in school. And at the same time, I was heading so many things back in school. I was a class rep in our 4th year. I was the Speaker of the House at a personal level in church. I was leading different groups, particularly the Guild of St. Anthony of Padua, which was like one of the biggest societies in the Catholic Church, University of Nigeria, during the period when I was also the president. And from our group, we were able to mobilize and elect the next Students Union president for the school during the period, because of the sheer volume of interest and drive that we had. So that's back then. Leaving school, I wasn't keen on politics. I started focusing on international development, humanitarian stuff, how to help from the health sector, exposing myself to other areas of knowledge that I wasn't privileged to be exposed to in school. Started working in a hospital, and then from there moved into international development in 2007, and moved through the ranks in terms of career. For the last 5 years, I've been country director, first in Liberia, currently in Ghana, helping to support health supply chain, global health supply chain activities funded through United States Agency for International Development and the Global Fund, all to improve access to health commodities at the service delivery point, especially for HIV clients, for malaria, for family planning, for maternal and child health program, and reproductive health. And then during COVID, making access, helping to improve supply chain for COVID vaccines that will enable people get immunized as much as possible. Coming to my class, I didn't have any plans to come and lead anything in the class, no plans at all. It just so happens that we kept talking about what to do, and nobody was doing it. Just people, everyone was in the side complaining, we should do this, we should do that, but nobody was really doing it. And when I keep sampling the opinion of people, like, who will build the cart? Who will build the cart? Nobody. So people are willing to contribute ideas, but there's nobody to galvanize. So when we started hearing about some of our classmates that are in dear needs and you need to come together, that was actually my incentive. I volunteered myself. Nobody volunteered me. I volunteered myself. Started calling people, say, look, let's come together and do this. And as you would have heard some of my colleagues, initially people were like, no, this is not possible. We don't have time and all that. But I was able to, with the clout I had when we were in school, the respect I had, over the years, when people call me speaker, it's out of reverence for what I did when I was in school. So 20 years after that, they're calling me the same thing. So it made me to say, okay, I'm in a unique position. Let me start reaching out. And as I started reaching out to my classmates, like, okay, if Innocent is involved, hopefully it will succeed, even though there are doubts. And I just told them, look, I'm determined that this is going to work out. Come along with me, and this will work out. And belief started being there. We started galvanizing based on some of the experiences we've had in the past, where we raise money and then we just spend it and give it out, and people say, oh, where is the money? Like, okay, we need to set up a formal account for us to even start this in the first place. That was one of the first hurdles. It took us almost 3 to 4 months to go back and forth with the banks to be able to get an account for our class, which for me was the first milestone. With that account now, I said, look, we can now go into resource mobilization, because we are now sure that when we ask people to raise money, it won't be, oh, who is going to collect it, but it's going to go into some, the association's formal account. So that's how, we started moving. I had no plans of being the leader of the class. I set up the various committees, appealed to people to work in them, ultimately to help us move forward. And when people started nominating me, I was like, no, I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. Also, I'm not in the country. So, but people were like, no. When it became an anonymous or unanimous, everyone would say, no, it's me, and like, it was a tough one, but probably if I don't, that's what I told myself, if I don't accept, maybe that will be the anticlimax of the reunion. So let me hopefully accept this and help to build the foundation. Once we build the foundation, then others can carry on, because I so much believe that it shouldn't be just left for those same group of people that have been leading the class. Let others come out and also try their own leadership potential, their own leadership skills within the class. If they can do it very well within the class, then probably they can also take it out there. So that's why really my hope is to build foundation, and then hopefully others will come along and continue to lift things up. The moment it's not in my career plans at the moment, because I've moved into a different space, working in international development, and from there I'm making so much impact at a higher level, which trickles down. But in life, I'll say never say never. You never know what's going to happen in the future. You never know if opportunities present. Of course, I'll be happy and willing to serve the people. If also looking at my family, I have young children, I need to be sure that it will not inconvenience them as much, so much. But definitely in future, when there are opportunities to serve my people, definitely I will look into that, provided it continues to align with overall aspirations of making impact, changing human lives, and restoring the dignity of man. Ultimately, I'm a religious person. I have so much passion for things of God. whatever callings that will help to also advance the things of God, things of humanity, ultimately to improve lives. I'll be happy to contribute my little quota to that. My guiding principle to whatever I do is anything that is worth doing well. If you want to do something, make up your mind. Once you make up your mind, do it to the best of your ability. And with God on our side and aspirations in our front, we can achieve so much.